Good morning. We're going to get started with this very exciting event. Thank you, Baxter. You look good, by the way. Look at it. Let's give Baxter a big round of applause. Go D-backs, yeah. I'm Greg Stanton. I'm mayor of this great city, and I cannot wait to walk the green carpet behind us here and start living the grid life here in Phoenix, Arizona. Are you ready for the grid life? It's been a long time coming, but it is finally here. Yes, I am a founding member of Grid Bikes, and I could not be more excited. Phoenix is moving forward, as you're going to hear from myself and these other great leaders behind me who are going to do a little more to describe the program. I want to thank everyone for being here for this great launch of Grid Bikes in Phoenix. This is another key opening for our city, another key accomplishment for the city of Phoenix, the first ever citywide bike share system to open in Arizona. This is yet another way we're making the city of Phoenix more bicycle friendly, more attractive for people to want to live, work, conduct visits here, to visit our great city. Yes, it's a little chilly here this morning, but compared to the rest of the country, this is beautiful. I mean, come on. Recruiters, business recruiters look for cities with multimodal options, and this program, Grid Bikes, is very key to that effort. More and more businesses take into consideration the availability of bike share and other alternative forms of transportation when deciding about relocation and expansion. In fact, just last week, Phoenix was honored as a bronze level bicycle-friendly city by the League of American Bicyclists. We had tried before, we hadn't made it. This year we made it to the bronze level, but Joe Perez, bronze ain't good enough. We like bronze, but platinum's even better. And with your leadership, so many bicycle enthusiasts here in Phoenix, the City Council adopted the Bicycle Master Plan that over the next few years will get us to the platinum level as a bike-friendly city. And I could not be more excited about that. We are headed in the right direction. With Grid Bike Share, the Bicycle Master Plan in place, Phoenix is very well positioned to become a city where it's safe and easy to bike almost anywhere. So today, Phoenix joins so many other great cities throughout our country and around the world that have invested in bike share programs to enhance mobility, to enhance quality of life, and it's going to be a lot of fun too. Grid Bike Share gives us a new kind of transit system on two wheels. It's fun, environmentally friendly, convenient for making short trips around the city. Just think, some people who may have thought about using light rail, but their end destination is maybe a mile, mile and a half, maybe 2 miles from light rail. They think it's just a little too far to walk. Now you got no reason not to do it. You've got every reason to use our great public transportation system and go that extra mile, mile and a half using one of these awesome green grid bikes in our system. So it's going to greatly enhance our existing multimodal public transportation system. This has been a long time coming, and with today's launch, there will be 100+ bicycles, 27 stations across the city, and that is just the beginning. By the time of the Super Bowl coming up in just a couple months, we'll have twice the number of bikes we have today, and we're going to continue to add more. We'll plan more stations and enable them to accommodate even more bikes on our streets. And of course, the city of Phoenix is leading the way here today, but for the Grid Bike system, the Grid Bike Share system to be fully successful, it's a truly regional system. And we've got great partners with Grid Bikes. Our friends in Tempe, our friends in Mesa, and over the next few months will be opening their own Grid Bike systems. So that way, when you begin your trip here in Phoenix and you want to end up in Mesa to go to one of their facilities there, take light rail and use the Grid Bike to get to your final destination. And specifically to our friends in Tempe and Mesa, when you visit Phoenix, use a Grid Bike to do your shopping here in Phoenix during this holiday season. So for our system to work well, it has to be a truly regional system, and Grid Bike is going to help bring Phoenix, Tempe, and Mesa, and hopefully in the future other cities even closer together. Our region is coming closer together. Besides being a great option to get around town, bike share is about sustainable economic health and benefits that can enhance our quality of life. Think about it. Each and every time you hop on a bike, instead of hopping in a car, you will reduce air pollution and traffic congestions. Great cities have great multimodal transportation system. As mayor, and I know our council is fully supportive of this, we will continue to support the type of transportation options that enhance our mobility and, of course, increase our quality of life. And I know Rick NAIMARK, our great deputy city manager, is going to announce a few people, but I would be remiss if I just didn't say thank you to a few people who have really stood by us as we've gotten to this point. First, I've got a great city council that I get to work with. You're going to hear from my partner in sustainability, Councilman Bill Gates, in just a few minutes. But I want to thank the City Council for being so supportive of moving Phoenix in the direction of bike share. You're going to hear from Rick NAIMARK, our Deputy City Manager, who guided us through a few twists and turns as we got here today. Thank you for your leadership, Rick NAIMARK. But the real person who got it done inside the City of Phoenix, the manager of this project, Charlene Reynolds. Please stand up. Let's give her a big round of applause. We wouldn't be here today without her leadership. We have great advocates in our city. Are there any better advocates for the cause that they love and believe in and to push the city in the right direction than the Phoenix spokespeople? I don't know about that. Lisa Parks, you stand up. Phoenix, come on, don't be shy. Turn around, give her a big round of applause. Important lesson in Phoenix politics: if you want to do well, don't anger the Phoenix spokespeople. I'm telling you, they'll be your greatest friends, or sometimes have to push you in the right direction. We've got an awesome staff within the city of Phoenix, but the person that has kept us on the right track, making sure that the mayor and council are fully educated on the benefits of being a bike-friendly city, Joe Perez. Stand up, man. I really appreciate it. Love that hat. Look good. And the guy that kept me fully educated, pushing me in the right direction to be a mayor who really supports sustainability, pushing the envelope on sustainability, moving the city in the right direction. We got some big announcements coming up over the next few months on sustainability, and he got us going in the right direction. He's now back in academia at Arizona State University, but Colin Tatro, my sustainability advisor, he's in the back. Working the phones. Tell Dr. Crow I said hi. Yeah, thank you very much, Colin. All right. I want to thank everyone out for coming out here today. We want to hear from these other leaders behind me. Then we're going to walk the green carpet, and we're going to launch bike share here in the city of Phoenix. I mentioned him earlier, my partner on the city council, our sustainability leader, Councilman Bill Gates.
Thank you so much, Mayor. It's a very exciting day here to be a part of the rollout of bike share. And you know, I can think of no better thing to do 2 days before Thanksgiving than having another way to burn calories.
Yeah,
I mean, is this great or what? But obviously it's about a lot more than just personal health, which is an important thing. But it's really about, in a lot of ways, economic development and the development of this city. Many of the great cities of the world are developing these programs, and today we become a part of that list. And I think it will just, again, position us as one of the great cities of the world. And like the mayor mentioned, it does give us, it really expands that transportation grid. I think that's a great point. For those of us who represent areas like District 3 that don't have light rail yet, hint, hint, this will be an opportunity for some of the District 3 residents to potentially, you know, use this bike system and tie it in with light rail. And not only does it make great sense for economics and development, it's just cool. It's a lot of fun. And the way that it works, it's going to be real simple. You'll purchase your membership, and then you'll insert your PIN, and away you go. So it's going to be easy, which is very important. We're all busy. People don't like something complicated, and the team here took the time to make sure that this would be easy to use, and it will be, I think, very quickly adopted by our residents here in the city of Phoenix. You know, there's not one magic way to improve livability in a city like Phoenix, but this is just one more piece. One more piece, along with the vibrant downtown that we now have, that has laid the groundwork to get a Super Bowl and a college football national championship, and now a Final Four. And again, this is just one more piece. So as the mayor said, there are so many people in the City of Phoenix staff who've worked so hard on this. I want to thank them all, and so many of our residents who came out, who participated in this process. And I look forward to the day soon when we will be seeing these green bikes up in District 3 as well as around the city. So thank you to everyone who is here and who's been such a big part of this.
All right, thank you, Councilman Gates. We're going to take a little spin in just a little bit. We had a pre-existing meeting scheduled at City Hall. We scrapped that meeting. Afterwards, he and I are going to take grid bikes to El Comedor and have a nice little cup of coffee and have our first meeting offsite. We should do that more often, Councilman. Thank you for your great leadership. And I mentioned Councilman is our leader on sustainability issues. As you know, Councilman, who's a huge fan of solar and making sure the city is as solarized as possible. That is a solar-powered GPS system on the bikes, the first of its kind of any bike share system in the United States of America. So another innovation for the Phoenix grid bike system. Couldn't be more pleased. Yeah, go. It's awesome. All right, Rick NAIMARK, our Deputy City Manager, he's led us through this to this day, through a little bit of twists and turns to get to this point. We really appreciate your leadership and sticking with us and the contractor to make this day happen. Our Deputy City Manager, Rick NAIMARK.
Good morning, and thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilman Gates. We're so delighted to be doing this. I probably more than anybody, because I was one of the testers of the equipment, and then it went away while it was in production, and I didn't know what to do. I was having trouble. Let me just say, as somebody who hadn't ridden a bike for many, many years, when I tried these out the first time, I realized how easy it is and how flexible it makes your life. One thing that's wonderful about these is you don't have to ride these in a round trip. So you can go one direction, and if for some reason you're going somewhere afterwards with a colleague or a friend, you don't have to ride it back as long as you park it at the right station. So it's really exciting. I will tell you, there's been no greater champion for this than our mayor. How many times, Mayor, have you asked me, when is it happening? When is it happening? When are we doing this? And I will tell you, I always...
When is it happening?
Today. But one thing I'll tell you is I don't think it's a character flaw. I think it is a job requirement for elected officials to want things to happen quickly. It's really, really important for us to move quickly. And if we didn't have the mayor and council kind of keep the pressure on, keep asking the questions, you know, we might not have gotten here as quickly as we did. But one of the things we did is we wanted to make sure we did it right and that we got the right vendor, the right technology, the best technology. And I think this is going to be really cutting edge and really a leader for the nation. And there's just a couple other cities now that are using this particular generation, and they're just rolling out right now as well. So we're happy to be the first and largest rollout of this new cutting edge technology. And I want to thank Charlene for managing it, because I called her every day and was impatient asking what's going on. Let me just acknowledge all of the folks that had a hand in working on this. Ray Dovalina is here, our Street Transportation Director. And Wiley Barup is here, our former Street Transportation Director. I told Wiley he couldn't leave until he got it done, but he didn't listen to me. I want to acknowledge our entire bicycle program team. Tom Godby, Joe Perez, Scott Logan, and Carrie Wilcoxon. Will you wave if you're here? I want to thank our vendors who we got very up close and personal with over the last year. We all have our own cell phone numbers. What's happening with this? What's happening with that? From Cycle Hop, Josh Squire, the CEO. Josh. Cycle Hop was really critical in making this happen. John Romero is the Chief Operations Director, sitting next to him. Stand up, John. You all need to know John because John is here, so He's the one I would text or email if I couldn't figure out if I was doing something wrong or not, because I'm not exactly that savvy with this stuff. Lisa Parks is the online communications manager. You're gonna hear in a minute from Ryan RZEPECKI from SOBI, Social Bicycles. I want to thank Ryan for being here today. And we had a lot of partners. You know, when you put these stations out all over, you got to have partners that are going to help you do it. So Valley Metro, our Public Works Department at the city, our Parks Department at the city, the Convention Center, and the City of Phoenix Transit Department all had a hand in helping us figure out where to put the stations and how to make them work. So before I wrap up, let me just talk about one aspect, which is how you do this. And Ryan's going to talk a little more about that. First of all, Councilman Gates mentioned Thanksgiving and burning calories. But what I think about is Thanksgiving and Black Friday. And instead of going to a store and standing in line to buy somebody a gift, there's not a better gift you could give somebody than a membership to Grid Bikes. And so I would encourage you to do that. They will be extremely appreciative of it, and it will benefit them and your community as well. I just got to acknowledge one other person I spotted in the audience, and that's a former employee of ours, Phil McNeely. Phil, you want to wave your hand? Phil is now the Director of Air Quality at the county. And I think, Phil, this is our parting gift to you, to install a bike share system so the air quality will be improved as well. So thanks for being here. So let me just mention how it works in terms of what it costs. You have the option to have a monthly pass, which is $30, an annual membership, which is a fantastic deal, which is $79, which allows both of those allow 60 minutes of riding time per day. And then after that, there's a charge of $5 an hour. Or if you're not sure about it, or if you're visiting Phoenix and just maybe want to use it one time or a couple of times during the year, it's $5 an hour. So anybody can do it, and you'll hear a little bit later about how to sign up. But gridbikes.com is your particular website you want to focus on, and you can also follow Grid Bikes on Twitter. So let me just make it clear. The system is open to everybody, but if you're a member, it's really quick and easy because you're going to get an RFID card that you can just swipe it, or you can reserve it from the app on your phone. This is somebody over 50 saying that, so you know, if I can do it, you can do it. And I watched the mayor do it this morning too. So finally, these prices can stay at the level they're at if we have good sponsorship. So if you're a business out there and you're interested in helping sponsor a station, Baxter, or if you're interested in sponsoring the whole program in certain ways, you can do that, and that'll help keep the system afloat. Bike share systems across the nation have struggled, and so sponsorships are a really good way to make sure that we can keep the prices what they are for the long-term future. I do want to acknowledge 3 of our early sponsors, some of whom may be here. I saw somebody here from the Salt River Project. Mike, are you back there? I don't know where you are now, but I want to thank Salt River Project, our first sponsor. I want to thank WebPT. The mayor knows well. WebPT is located just outside of the downtown core, and a lot of their employees are going to ride bikes from the light rail. There's a station down by their business, and they're an emerging, exciting business in the warehouse district. And finally, I want to thank TJ Vernon. Also, anybody here, TJ Vernon? Thank you anyway to all of our sponsors. And now I'd like to ask Ryan to come up and just talk a little more about how these things work and how you sign up, etc. Thank you, everybody.
So I'd first just like to say thanks to the City of Phoenix and our partners, Cycle Hop and Grid Bikes. It's been an amazing journey and process to get to this point, and I think we've all worked really hard, and it was great to work on this with you. So a bit about how to get started. You can create an account online at gridbikes.com. or by downloading the mobile app. If you search the app stores for social bicycles, you'll find the mobile app, and you can download it and select the Grid Bike Network. Or you can walk up to any of the kiosks that you may find around town and purchase a membership at that kiosk. Once you have an account, you'll have an account number, and if you're an annual member, you'll actually have an RFID card as well. You can book the bike via the website, via the mobile app, or by just walking up to a bike and tapping your RFID card to the keypad on the bike. That submits the request. The server verifies it, and then when it receives it, you confirm with your PIN code on the bicycle, and the bike is released. At that point, you can ride around town, run some errands, go to a meeting, and when you're done, you can lock it up at another Grid Bike station elsewhere in the city, or you can find a location outside of a hub, but you pay an extra $2 charge to do that. So either return a bike into a hub or leave a bike outside of a hub. This system has a great amount of flexibility. And so we hope that this offers a new transportation choice for the people of Phoenix. I've spent a lot of time here over the last 2 years, and I've really been surprised and impressed about how much it's changing and how much growth there's been just in the short time that I've been coming here. And this, combined with the light rail and other transportation options, means that you can get around here easier and easier without driving to every place that you have to go. So we hope that our system is a big part of that, and we really appreciate the City of Phoenix, the mayor, and our partners here that have helped put all this together. So thank you.
It's not required. No, encouraged. What's that? All right, thank you, Ryan. All right, the speeches are done. We are now going to walk the green carpet, cut the ribbon. We're all going to put on our helmets so that we ride safely here today, and we're going to begin living the grid life. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.